So we have the SAT mathematics practice questions. The first question here is if 4 over 2x is equal to 1, then x is equal to what? So to do that, we need to cross multiply to get 4 is equal to 2x. Now divide both sides by 2 to get x is equal to 2. So the correct answer is B. Now the second question, if the unit digits of a 4-digit number is 0, the number must be which of the following? Not necessarily positive, because we have negative numbers that are also ending with 0 and are 4 digits. Divisible by 2, yes, of course. We know that numbers ending with 0, 2, 4, 6 and 8 are all divisible by 2, not necessarily also being a 4-digit number. So this is just here to distract you. Then odd, no. Divisible by 4, not all numbers ending with 0 are divisible by 4. Prime, not at all. So let's look at the third one. For all possible values of a, if a times b over 2 is equal to a over 2, what must be equal? So we have this expression. We can simplify by multiplying a by b to get ab over 2 is equal to a over 2. Now comparing both sides, we can see that b is equal to 1. So the correct answer is D. Then question 4. If p over 3 minus 4 is equal to 6, then p over 3 plus 2 over 3 is equal to what? So to do this, we first of all solve for p over 3. So what do? We need to add both sides by 4 to get this. So it means that p over 3 is equal to 10. Now to get this expression, we need to add 2 over 3 to both sides. So that will give us this. Now we need to simplify this. Note that this is the same as 10 over 1. So we write this in terms of LCM, which is 3, by multiplying the numerator and denominator by 3 to get this. Now we add the numerators because we have like fractions. So that will give you 32 over 3. So the correct answer is C. Then this option here, we know that G will be equal to 90. So this is G equal 90, not E. And we also know that this angle here is 90 because the corner angles of a square, are all 90. The diagonal bisect this, so it means this will be 45 and this will be 45. So F plus E must also be equal to 90. F plus E must be equal to 90. So when we add the left hand side and the right hand side, we must get something like this. Now it means that E plus F plus G is equal to 180. Now recall that for arithmetic mean, we divide the sum by the number of items. So we have 1, 2, 3 here. So we divide both sides by 3 to get the arithmetic mean, and that will give us 60. So the correct answer is B. Now look at question 6. If n is an odd integer greater than 9, then in terms of n, what would be the smallest even integer greater than n? So this is just here to distract you. Now if we have an odd number, we have a number which is odd. To get an even number, you have to add 1, 2, 3, etc. So if you have an even number, if you have an odd number which is n, then the next even integer after this odd number will be n plus 1, and this is the least integer. This is the least even number that is greatest than n. That is greater than n. So for instance, if you have an odd number which is 15, then the next even integer will be 15 plus 1, which is 16. Then the next one will be 15 plus 2, which is 18. Then the next one will be 15 plus 3. 15 plus 3, which is 18. 15 plus 1 is sorry, you're supposed to add 1, 3, then 5. Yeah, so these are the ones, etc. These are the ones that will give you the odd, the even numbers. So 15 plus 1 will give you 16. Then 15 plus 3 will give you 18. Then 15 plus 1 will give you 20. So the least among these is the 16. The least among them is the 16. So this thing continues like that. It continues like that. So the least even number is 16 in this case. So I was just using this to explain. Don't need. So the understanding is that the next even integer after an odd integer will be n plus 1. And this n plus 1 is the smallest even integer that is greater than this odd this odd number or this odd integer. So the correct answer will be E. Now we have this item 7. If f and m are integers, then f minus m is not greater than 15. So let's see. So if f equal 10 and m equal negative 5, we get 10 minus 5, which is 10 plus 5, and is equal to 15. So we come back to our statement. 15 is not greater than 5. That is false. Then we come to B. If f equals 6 and m equal negative 1, we get 6 minus 1, which is equal to 6, plus 1, which is 7. So we come to our statement. 7 is not greater than 5. That is false. So this one too is not an option. It's not a correct choice. Now when f equal 8 and m equal 2, we get 8 minus 2, which is 6. So can you say 6 is not greater than 5? No, that statement is false. Then f equals 7 and m equal 1, we get 6 as the result, and we are getting false again. Then f equal 2 and m equal 3, we get 2 minus m equal negative 3, we get 2 minus 3, which is equal to 2 plus 3, and that will give you 5. So in that case, we can say that 5 is not greater than 5, and that is a true statement. So the correct answer is E. Then item 8. In order to generate fractions, one standard 6-sided die is rolled twice in a row. The result of the first row is recorded as the numerator, and the result of the second row is recorded as the denominator. The fractions are reduced if possible. How many distinct fractions? So this is the keyword distinct. Between 0 and 1 can be generated by this method. So we have this die 1 and die 2. Now these are the results, and we simplify them if possible. So all these are fractions that are between 0 and 1. Now we need to select the distinct ones. I will pick the distinct ones. So these are the distinct ones. So let's count them. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So the correct choice will be B. Now, if it takes a group of 10 people 5 hours to pick 300 apples, how many hours would it take one person to pick 300 apples? So this is on proportion, indirect proportion, or inverse proportion. So 10 people correspond to 5. 10 people work faster than only one person. So if 10 people take 5 hours, how long will it take one person? Will it be more or less? You agree with me that that will be more. So if more, less will divide. Let's divide. The less of these two numbers will divide. The less of the two known numbers will divide. In this understanding, we know that 10 people work faster, so 5 hours. So one person will take an hour, which is more than 5 hours. That is why the less of these two divide. So the remaining numbers will be, when you take out the divisor, which is 1, we are left with the remaining numbers. So we multiply them. So we multiply this and this. Multiply these two numbers, then you divide by 1. So one person will take 5 by 10 divided by 1. So it will take 50 hours to do that. Now, assuming you do the comparison and you ask the question, will it be more or less? And the answer is less. Then you divide by the more. So it depends on the statement that is giving you. So the correct choice now is 50 hours. Now let's look at this. If triangle FGH is isosceles and FG is less than 3, which of the following statements must be true? So we know that the triangle is an isosceles triangle, so two of the sides must be equal. Then also by the triangle inequality, we must have that the sum of any two sides should be greater than the third side. So for instance, we are given that FG is equal to 3 and GH is equal to 8. So we can see that 8 is not less than 3. So this option is out. Then if we use the triangle inequality property, then the third side might be between this. If you add this side and this, it should be greater than the third side, which is FH. Right now we know this, that this is less than 3. Then we also know that, so if you simplify this, we will get FH, which is this side ranging between 5 to 11. This side must be between 5 and 11. FH is between 5 and 11. So if that is the case, let's move on with our options. GH is equal to FH. So GH is equal to FH. We know GH is 8. So if FH is equal to 8, then 8, we know 8 is lying within this interval. So that statement can be true. And because this is true, it means this side is equal to this side. So 8, 8. Now if you move on, GF equal GH. We know 8 GF, which is 3, cannot be equal to this. We know this is less than 3, so it cannot be equal to 8. Then FH is less than FG2, cannot be true. So this is not true. This is also not true. So the correct answer will be option B,